Okay.
Hello. Can you hear me?
I can. I can hear you perfectly. This is freaking sick. This is my first time doing this by myself.
Oh my god.
So,
Period.
periodic table. So, how can my channel is now live. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Okay, I wanna tweet this.
Are you on YouTube?
Yeah, I'm gonna just tweet the YouTube
Oh
link.
yeah, I see it. I just got a notification for it.
Okay, are you
Bitch.
subscribed to me?
Period. Yes, of course.
Oh, I love you. Okay, let's
Notifications on.
I love you. Okay.
I'm smoking, so I'm just saying.
Nice. Okay.
But you can hear me like well. I don't have to turn up my mic or.
No, it's amazing. How's my sound?
Yeah, very nice. Very nice.
Okay. So
Professional.
I'm just gonna retweet this with comment. Sequester Mini.
You're so extra. I know you're going to sleep.
Who?
My brother.
Oh. All right, so all right, we have Edward in the chat. Hey, from Houston. Oh, Dan's here. Hey, everyone. That's amazing. Okay. So, greetings, dolls and gents, and welcome to my doll room. I've never gone live or done anything like this before, but basically, I had the pleasure of playing in the Sequester All-Star game this past Friday, which was called Bitch, Where's My Crown? And Abby, don't type to me on Discord because you're we have my girl, good friend, Abi Thee Stallion in the house. Period.
Straight from England. Hello.
Yeah, give your shout out to yourself.
To myself. I'm just from England, innit? And I'm here. Period.
She watched the entire mini that day.
No, I'm joking. I'm joking. It was good. It was all right, you know.
It was all right.
I stayed up to what, like 6, 7? Oh, disgusting.
A real one. So because she got to watch everything, it'll be nice to kind of like talk my experience with Abby, who also watched everything from different rooms, got to see other people, and etc., etc., etc.
But I'm not gonna lie, I did follow you for the majority of it. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Real one. And so another reason why I decided to do kind of like my own recap and everything is because after the game ended, Podquester did like an impromptu after show, whatever the case may be, but I wasn't invited. I wasn't invited to the after show despite making it to Final 5. Eventually I did receive the link at like basically towards the end after numerous people were tweeting at them or writing in the chat. I don't really know why they didn't want to invite me. I never really got a straight answer. When I did get the link, I told them that I'd rather not. I was a little offended, not gonna lie. Like, how is it that I made it to Final 5 and then we had the first boot on there giving their gameplay and the second boot on there giving their gameplay, and I found that, right? And like my name came up a lot, and it just kind of baffled my mind that no one thought, oh shit, why don't we drop Sosa the link? And yeah, so I just wanted to, shout out to Podquester nonetheless, because here I am giving my own recap. But I just didn't, I don't know. I felt a little salty about that, not gonna lie. So I'm just mentioning it. And that's why I'm on here, so I can give my experience, because I feel like a lot of people had questions about why didn't drag Dylan, or why I decided to vote out Kaylee. So I thought we could just get right into that on my own platform. So to start, Well, let's talk pre-gaming. And like, Abby, as you can see, everyone's kind of going crazy about this whole, why are people pre-gaming? It's ruining the game, blah, blah. Like, what is your thoughts on pre-gaming, and does it ruin the game? As a viewer, like, how do you feel about that?
Look, it really depends on how you like watching shows. I feel like obviously for some people, pre-gaming does affect them, because a lot of what I was hearing on like Podquester was that people were annoyed because like they couldn't really figure out what was going on. But for me, I like that. I like that at the end of certain rounds, I was like, Angelica, who did that? Do you know what I mean? Like that was more of an experience for me than just, I don't know. So Sequester's a bit funny because I feel like when you do an All-Stars game or whatever and the cast gets revealed, pre-gaming is going to happen. So you're either going to rise to the top or you're going to sink to the bottom. And a lot of people, unfortunately, sank to the bottom. So do you know what? It's people said it was the influencer mini, because Aman and Taran just like they ran through that shit. But it's like all you guys had to do is research. If you guys researched, if any of the people in their research, they could have probably found out that Cammy and Dylan have been friends for a while, or they could have found out that Cammy, Dylan, and Bill have been in the Sequester community for a while. I think this is what makes the difference with pre-gaming, because we've seen well, I haven't watched for that long, but out of all the minis I've watched, the two like I've watched that had steamrollers that pre-gamed was the influencer mini and now the mini that just went. And it's because these people have had long-term relationships. It's much easier for them to trust each other and know that if their name's gonna get thrown out, that it'll be thrown off and stuff like that. But when you don't know people, it's much harder. And I feel like we've heard times when pre-gaming has flopped. So it's like, just because it works a specific time, you can't condemn all pre-gaming, because at the end of the day, it's a part of the show. So
period. And on that note, like, I don't really understand what it is that people think pre-gaming consists of, because like I feel like there's different levels to this shit. Like,
yeah, exactly.
The 2 times I've played, pre-gaming consists of a couple of exchanges of Twitter DMs, and that's it. I never hopped on a phone call. I never like made on a game plan. It was just more like, hey, I like your vibe. Oh, saw you play. Okay, cool. You're safe with me. Okay, cool.
But see, that's the difference. Because you're right. There's levels of playing and there's levels of pre-gaming. And the level Cammy, Dylan, Bill, and Mel were on, they were all jumping on calls and discussing theories and da-da-da. But I bet you everyone else in the cast was not doing that. And of course, no wonder why they steamrolled. So it's like the people that are upset with them, I'm just funny, because if anyone should be upset, it should be you, and you're not even upset. So let's
I know.
You know what I mean? You got Britney'd.
Yes.
You got brigaded, and you're not even up here all crying on Twitter and da-da-da. Anyways, let me.
Yeah, I feel like pre-gaming is part of the game. It's fun. Like, the thing is,
exactly.
Okay, let's say no one pre-gamed and literally the cast was revealed and no one knew each other. Like, sure, alliances kind of would be formed, but they wouldn't really be alliances. There'd be no depth to the alliance. As where we had with the 4, they actually knew each other. And also there's a difference between pre-gaming with people that you don't know and you're just following for the first time.
Exactly. That's exactly what I'm saying. Exactly.
And then pre-gaming people that you have outside relationships with, like Dylan and Cam mentioned, they had gone to like a Big Brother season premiere together.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, exactly.
So they're loyal to the soil.
But like they've actually... Yeah, they've actually like linked up and da-da-da. If you've got friendship like that, boy,
there's over. No way. Yeah. Exactly. And so when I heard that, it kind of made more sense, because like, well, I we'll get in there. Let me tell you how my Okay. So boom, cast gets released. Okay. At the time, I was all of a sudden cast gets released. DMs are flooded, everyone's coming through, and one of the first names that reached out to me and that I like recognized and knew was Dylan. Dylan is, he had a hand in casting me for the influencer mini, which was the first mini that I played in. He is such a fucking king, okay?
King. He knows talent when he sees it.
Period. So him giving me the chance, and like I really respect Dylan and Audrey as well, obviously, because when I applied for that influencer mini, I'm like a micro influencer. I don't have like 100K subscribers. Like, you know what I mean? Like my highest videos on here is like 3K or so. So I just did it on a whim because she had said like, doesn't matter what size you are. Did I actually think that I would make it? I don't know. But I knew that I had enough like BB content on there that if they actually watched it, they would know, okay, she really fucks with this community, whatever the case may be. Anyway, so when I got casted alongside like such big personalities, I just thought it was really cool. And Dylan had faith in me. I watched his cast analysis. So just since then, like obviously I'm liking for Dylan. And then when I would watch other like Sequester minis just in a YouTube chat, we would kind of like go back and forth and stuff like that. So that's basically the basis of our connection or relationship. So when he said, you know, I'm playing, blah, blah, blah. It wasn't that much pre-gaming, honestly, from his end. He just ensured me that I would be safe with him and, like, obviously, likewise. So that was that. Then came in Cami. She DM'd me and she was like, hey, girl, like, what's up, blah, blah, blah. Why are you laughing? What's up, blah, blah, blah. Long story short, what's up, Jacob? Hey, Dan. Thank you for subscribing, Jacob. But yeah, so when Cami said like, oh, girl, like, I want to work with you, she said to me, I don't really know anyone in the community. You're probably more connected than I am. So this is where, as you mentioned, I should have done my research. Like again, the cast was released 48 hours in advance. Honestly, I just didn't have the time to dwell that deep. Yeah. She played me, but she told me she felt like she didn't have any connections and whatever the case may be.
Was this during pre-gaming?
Yeah. This is right.
But see, that's what this is the shit I don't like, because you don't need to be doing all that, do you? Like, I don't know, I've never played, but I feel like, oh my god.
What do you feel like?
Because I feel like you guys still could have been cool if she wasn't like, oh, I have no connections and like
Yeah, she sold me a dream.
But I just feel like there was no point, because you still would have had her back regardless. Do you know what I mean? So I feel like, anyways, as I said, I've not played Sequester, so I don't know if that's how you have to play the game or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I don't know, because I feel like
if you had told her, I mean, if she had told you, like, oh, I'm in this alliance with Mel, you would have been like, oh, like, fuck you, I have to get rid of them. You would have been like, okay, let's link up. So it's just like, I don't exactly. So I just
period.
I just don't get
And from my experience, whenever I pregame, like if someone messages me being like, hey, I want to work with you, I share my info. So even with her, I told her,
exactly.
I was like, I'm not that connected, but I am cool with Dylan. I think I said Dylan. I don't know who else I said, but I definitely said Dylan, because Dylan was like the first person I had pre-gamed it before that. And then what the fuck? I should actually I could pull it up and see, but it's not that deep. Basically, I mentioned Dylan, and then she's like, oh, Dylan's sweet. Okay, nice. Oh, I told her that I was cool with Dylan, so I would like, I'm loyal to Dylan, and I also want to work with Nav, is what I said. So she just says like, oh yeah, Dylan's sweet. Like that was it. Like not like I know him, we're cool, I'm working with him. And I feel like at that point would have been amazing if she could have been like, oh, me and Dylan go way back. Then I could have, you know, but whatever. She says that whatever. And then I messaged Nav saying, yo, let's work together, blah, blah, blah. She's like, yep, so down. And I told her I'm talking to Cam. Maybe we can get a little threesome going on. Okay. So then we started a group chat. I'm like, boom. So we're going to do Black Girl Magic, right? Like, call it cliche if you may, but I really felt like
could never be cliche. How dare you?
Okay, right? Well, people could be like, oh my God, of course they did, right? But whatever. So I thought we had a Black Girl Magic thing going in. Then Bill reaches out to me, and Bill said something along the lines of like, hey, Sosa, can't wait to play with you. Yeah.
Oh my God, Bill was on it.
Bruh. He's like, Dylan told me not to go after you, so you're safe with me, or some shit like that. And as soon as he mentioned Dylan, I'm like, oh, a friend of Dylan is a friend of mine. So so then to me, I was like, okay, I'm not gonna go after Bill whatsoever. So that's basically it. And then in terms of like, so that's like in regards to the 4. Okay. So I obviously knew that Bill and Dylan were together, had no idea that Cammy or Dylan had any sort of like really close relationship at all. And then I also had pre-gamed. And when I say pre-gamed, I'm using this lightly. Like I actually responded to DMs and told them that they were safe with me. So I did that with Jacob. I did that with maybe just Jacob, Khaled, Raymond. I told that he was safe with me, and honestly, that's probably all that I can remember. I wish I had that book that I was writing in. Let's see if I have that. Hold on. Oh, whatever. It doesn't matter. Okay, so yeah, that's basically it. Okay, so now the game comes about. So I'm going through this game thinking that like Naveet getting tech evacuated, I think, is what ruined the Black Girl Magic Alliance. But the thing,
yes, so didn't I say this to you as well? It is what. But go on, what was you going to say? And then I'm about to go in.
The thing is, I don't understand to the full degree how, because Cammy and Nav didn't know each other. Like, I'm the one who made the group chat. I'm the one who connected it. So I don't understand why Cammy's confidence got like wavered when Nav got evicted.
Because she had a stronger group in them lot than in just you. You two would have just been 2 people. You can't do nothing with 2 people. With them, she had 4 people. So that's the only reason why I get it. If Naveet stayed and Cammy did that, another story. But
okay,
like there was only so much. I feel like at that point there was only so much she could do. Naveet went, and then who went after her? Marcelo. Like when those 2 went, it was done, because I think those were the only 2. They would have got you, and then maybe Kaylee. Like I feel like that was the only way that shit could have got flipped. And even Naveet said that she was gonna go after Bill if her shit didn't come. So now imagine if Naveet's shit didn't turn off and she went after Bill. No offense, Bill would have probably gotten, because Naveet is just that bitch. Period. And Cammy, as he said, Cammy would have flipped on them 100%, because then they would have had the power. And Dylan said on Podquester that they had to fight every single round for all of them to stay safe, and he's right. Like they had to fight. So it would have taken the smallest thing for it to all come crumbling. And Naveet, that hurted so much, honestly. Oh man.
Okay, fair. No, that's true. And I do. And again, Cammy and Dylan are friends outside of this, stuff like that. So am I expecting you to turn on Dylan? No. I mean, unless you really want that win. But like, no.
But you didn't know this. You didn't know that though.
Yeah, no, I didn't know that at all.
Yeah. So
and what was funny is that in first round was save one person. So in the first round, me and Cammy were in the same room. So I thought, oh, okay. I didn't even look at her. I just thought automatically we were going to save each other. And I was thinking about Nav. I'm like, oh, should I try and save Nav? But I'm like, no, this makes no sense. Since me and Cammy are in the same room, obviously she's going to do me. So when they released who saved who, and Cammy saved Dylan and then Nav saved Marcelo, I was pissed.
Oh my.
I was pissed. I felt so low and it's so awkward.
Oh, like, babes, I know. It hurted.
What
and
the
I was
hell
talking to
is going on?
Me and Nikki were talking, and I was like, I know Sosa would have picked Naveet or Cammy. So the fact that neither of them picked you, I was like, oh my god.
Oh,
really, that should have woke your ass up to Cammy, but you know.
I know. And I was feeling weird, and like she didn't say anything about it. It wasn't like she was like, oh girl, I did it because like she just went by her business. So that was hilarious. So that was a little weird and interesting. Aside from that, another red flag is when me and Naveet were tethered together in that round. We were tethered together. Bill was tethered to whomever. I think it was Jacob. And then it was Dan K. Oh, Dan K is someone else that I was I was safe with, because Dash had messaged me saying, oh, my best friend's playing. So so I was cool with him. But then Daniel K was tethered to, I believe, Ilona. So that was a really hard round, but I thought, okay, well, obviously I can't vote out Bill because Bill is Dylan's boy and I'm loyal to Dylan. So I put the vote on Daniel instead. Okay. And then it was like a round or two after that when we were all talking. I think it was the round where it's like you can't vote for someone you already voted for. And then Bill lets out, oh, well, so I'm not going to do you because I already voted for you. And I'm like, wait, pause. Sorry. Pause. Bill, what is going on? And he's like, okay, well, that was like rounds ago. And for me, I didn't expect that much loyalty from Bill until there was a moment where me and him were alone in a room. And he's like, Sosa, we're good, right? And I'm like, yeah. And we like chopped up in a room for like 2-3 minutes and stuff like that. So I thought, okay, this is like actually really solidified. And then the fact that he put a vote on me and Nav, as opposed to doing it to Daniel K, who's not a number for you, was like baffling. I didn't get it. And this is where Dylan's Oscar skills comes in, because I find Dylan in a room and I'm like, Dylan, why is your boy coming after me? He's like, what do you need? And I'm like, listen, I've been like being faithful to Bill only because he's connected to you, only because he DM'd me and name dropped you. And he's like, what? He did that? And I'm like, yeah, he said that you told him to like, I don't know, to message me or to reach out. He's like, no, I only told him not to go after you, but anything else, you could do what you want. I'm like, okay, then letting you know that I'm going after him because he went after me. And he was totally fine with it. Obviously, I know now it was like more of a bluff, but I would never in a million years would have thought that at Final Four. Like, this was just, the acting skills from all of them was like impeccable. Anywho's, yeah. So then that brings us up to...
Dylan said, didn't he reply to your tweet? And he was like, if Cammy flipped on Bill, if Cammy was willing to flip on Bill, I would have flipped.
Yeah.
Like, at what point of the game would this have been then?
Right? What, Final Five?
Yeah, do you know what I mean?
Actually, can we talk about the final 6? I believe it was when I had the choice. I had to vote out someone. I think I did Kaylee. And
the way I was screaming at my laptop.
I didn't even understand what was going on. All I know is like I had a list of people that was safe with me, and Kaylee was like, I loved Kaylee. Like, she's such a she's so cute. She's so cute, so funny. Like, as soon as I was in the room with her, I was like, oh, I wish that we had like pregame, because I'm just going by like my order of loyalty, right? So she was at the bottom of that list because I just connected with her in there. So that's why, but no one, if only Mel said it. She's like, if you vote her out, you're going to be gone next. And I was like, who's Mel to be telling me this?
Shut up.
I was like, who's Mel to telling me this? Like,
I knew it because I saw it on your face. You was thinking, like, Cammy's my girl and Dylan's my guy. So what you want about?
Yeah. I was like, what are you on about? Word on the streets is that you didn't even pregame with anybody. So I just...
Oh, wow.
I just didn't take her word for it. Yeah, it just didn't seem like she had pre-gamed. She didn't pre-game. She didn't follow me anything. I don't know. So yeah, I guess that's where I messed up. But there's no way. If anything, I should have done Bill. But Bill was safe that round.
Yeah. That's the thing. I know, but this is what pisses me off, because everything could have changed if you got your bounty out, which is Kaylee. No offense, Kaylee. Yeah. But then, because who got out? Dan? And you said you and Dan were good, right?
Yo, Dan Alt, he was in my original room. So we kind of made this.
Yeah, I know, because I remember that round you was like, no, room 1. It was so funny because obviously me and Nikki were on call, and Nikki was like, Sosa better forget that room 1 alliance.
I'm too loyal to the soil. Like, you see it when I play, like when I watch Sequester, I'm like, some people just be backstabbing, like for fun. Like, okay, come on, you couldn't stay loyal. Yeah. And the thing, I felt like everyone was like just ganging up on him every single round. And then Bill had this vendetta against Dan. And like, I don't know, I just felt like Bill was a very he was a very aggressive player, and he was kind of like steamrolling, and he'd kind of be like, okay, who's voting out? Put it on him. And it's like, hold on. I have a brain. I have my own enemies as well that I kind of want to target. So, yeah, that bounty round, I'm so sad that Bill got Dan out. And I remember Nav Queen. Yo, if you want to hop on here, if you want to hop on here, I'll DM you
Queen
the
of power outages.
No, I know. We need to get Nav in here. I want to. If you're free, I'll DM you like on Twitter. Oh fuck! Hold on, that's right.
Because you know how to DM links, unlike some people.
I know, right? Shout out to Podquester. I'm sorry. Shout out to Podquester.
Shout out.
That's
big
period.
You know what? Oh my god. It just pissed me off because I just wanted to, even though I knew you was gonna come and tell me the tea, I just wanted to hear you talk to Dylan and Cammy and Bill and Mel, and then you never got the chance to because for some reason the first boot had a whole montage monologue of why he was the first boot and and everyone saying, "Oh, we love you, first boot," and it was like, okay, that's nice and stuff, but I did want to hear more about like the game. First boot that happened literally 6 hours ago. Why?
Yeah. Oh my god, Nav is here.
Yes. Oh my god, Queen. I'm gonna
dead. Oh my god, I'm so excited to finally like kind of meet Abi. This is my first time.
Hey.
Hi.
But now I want to jump on cam, but no, you guys don't deserve it.
Yes. What? I'm dead. I just came back from a walk, so I'm like,
oh god, how you doing? We're just chatting some shit.
Oh yes, I'm here for it. I'm doing good. I'm just work.
Dan might pop on too. I was just sending the link to
Who?
Dan.
Dan,
my room one buddy, Dan Alt.
We're just doing a little what's it called?
Recap.
Yeah.
I didn't get to talk my shit earlier.
Talk your shit, girl.
Dan Alt.
When did Dan Alt get out, by the way? I have no idea what happened.
Round 7?
No, it was final 6.
When Dan got
out. No, it was final 7.
Yeah.
So what was
it? Dan, then it was Kaylee, then it was you.
Yeah. I didn't know the boot order because I have no idea still to this day what happened.
What was going on?
I just know that Bill won.
Well, anyways.
I'm dead.
Sorry, I'm just responding to Jacob.
Bill is funny.
Like Jacob Jones?
Yeah. No. Jacob from Army.
Oh, Jacob Gibson. Hi. Jacob Gibson.
Okay.
I'm here for it.
But yeah, so what were we saying about Dan? Dan got out that round. It was the bounty rounds, how Dan got out.
Oh. Justice for Dan.
Yeah, justice for Dan, because Bill was targeting him, but he was Bill's bounty.
Oh, okay.
This is final 7 now. And so it was funny because, like, at this point, Bill had confessed to me that he voted. What's the link? Oh, sorry.
I'm dead.
Recap on my channel.
Oof. Abi, what time is it? Like 1 a.m.?
Yeah, well done.
Yes. I watch a lot of Premier League, so I have the time zones on lock.
Okay.
Maybe I should just drop this link.
What time zone are you in?
I'm in mountain time right now, but in the winter I'm in central because we don't change the time zone like in the region I live in. So I am in mountain time right now.
Okay.
It's 6 o'clock.
Yeah, that was Bell.
Daniel K is gonna come through in a bit, maybe. Anyway, so yeah, it was final 7.
Wow, sorry. Anyways,
Nav, I want to say, by the way, that I got you on here. I was telling Abi that like first round when we all had to save someone, and when you and Cammy both saved other people.
Oh, I felt so bad. I'm so sorry about that.
So heartbreaking. We had Jacob in the house.
Jacob!
Yay!
No, so because like
talking about first round, Jacob.
I played with Marcelo and Angelica my very first game, so like we are very, very close. And like I was honest about riding with you and Cammy like all the way, but we were so scared of Marcelo being like one of the first targets because he is just like chaotic energy. So I'm like, we need to save him like first round. And I didn't know if he's gonna pick Angelica or me. And so I was like, Okay, he saved the first 2 rounds, thank God. But
I had heard rumors that Marcelo was going to be targeted in the first couple rounds preseason, so it was smart you guys did that.
yeah, I was so worried. I was like, we cannot let him go out like first couple rounds. That'd be tragic. But then Brandon ended up going out first, so that like really sucked too. So,
Yeah,
but no, I felt so bad. I was like, oh no, I was not expecting this twist. I don't think anyone was. But
yeah, that was crazy. That twist.
Nuts. I couldn't believe it.
The twist kind of ruined me and Chelsea's game, I think, because I don't think people saw me and her as a duo. I don't think people knew me and her were as good of friends as we were.
Mm-hmm.
But we both obviously were going to save each other because she's probably one of my closest friends in the community. We just became really good friends because we played the same weekend and rooted for each other on 2 different nights. And then we just linked up because we have so many common interests. And then I was like, obviously I'm going to save her because I'm loyal. And then everyone was like, that's not a pairing I would expect, because most of the other pairings, I feel like people like all the other pairings kind of made sense, but that one people looked at and went, huh, and then we both got targeted for it.
I see that's so wild because I feel like none of the other duos got targeted except for you guys.
Who, Chelsea and Jacob?
And like DK and Alona, yeah.
Like Naveed and Marcelo didn't get targeted for saving each other, and neither did Cammy and Dylan.
Because
so
people already knew Naveed and Marcelo were close. It was expected. Nobody was shocked by that. But I feel like people were shocked that Naveed and Chelsea saved each other. And I was like,
I like had the impression that you guys would probably be working together, but not like final 2 type of.
Oh no, we were a final 2. We were on FaceTime for I would say a total of like 10 hours before the game started. Like including Friday and Thursday, me and her were just sitting on FaceTime together. We didn't even talk strategy most of the time. We were just hanging out, but we were just like chilling.
Like, what do we do? It was a mess. Stressful.
Right now, we're just discussing basically the first round and who we saved and why. Were you saved at all, Dan?
I was saved by Mel.
Oh, nice. So you and Mel were like working together pregame, like an alliance kind of thing?
She was working with me and I was working with her, but she obviously had other plans.
I was literally about to say what happened. So what happened?
A lot of people are going to say that about the Final Four.
I would have thought. I did not see that coming from a mile away.
Because if you, Dan, if you and Mel are close, how come her alliance built? Oh, because you were his bounty. But I was going to say, like, why was he so gung-ho on getting you out?
Because I knew their plan. So, like, I had known that Cammy, Dylan, and Bill knew each other. I've known that they're connected. I just couldn't convince anyone to make the move.
Okay.
Me, man. Why did you tell Sosa?
Yes.
I didn't get a chance. Like,
man,
they finessed me.
Me and you both.
That's so sad.
They were the ones that told me that I was going to be the first boot, which just made me super aggro aggressive, which then had me targeting people that I didn't want to target. And they did that.
Oh, so like, sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, when did the target go on? Like, what made everyone start targeting me? Because it was like from like round 3 onwards, where every single round was Dan. Who did you piss off?
That's a great question. No, I mean, I was told before the game that I was going to be the first boot.
Yeah, but you survived that.
But that's what like made me then start going super aggressive for other people, and that probably annoyed some people.
Okay, I feel you. So people would just do it with the wrong name or something.
I mean, there was no right name on Friday night.
That's true.
Dan, I'll tell you why I was one of the people pushing your name quite a bit. It was because one of the things that Chelsea... What? Your name? Oh, not preseason, like during the actual season. But it was because Chelsea told me that she thought she had you in her back pocket, and I didn't want her going to you instead of me. So I was like, I need him out. And that's kind of why Chelsea was okay targeting Emily, because I told Chelsea that Emily was one of my people.
What is that?
Oh my god. That's a whole ass flow chart.
Yeah, this was like every person who played with and their connection with each other.
I'm dead.
Did you make that pre-game or during the game?
Oh, pregame. So Sosa, you had been recruited by Dylan. And
Not recruited.
So is that true?
He casted me for the influencer one.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So go on,
Okay.
Dan. I would love if you kept explaining that. It's so
That's
awesome.
really cool.
Mhm.
I mean, like, this was just like people who played in minis together. I had a separate thing for who I knew was actually connected.
Okay.
But trying to think, like I knew Chelsea and Jacob were connected. That Jacob played with Bill in Night of the Living Dead. Bill played with Joshua in the first mini. Naveet, you're right here, Naveet. So you were actually a mental target of mine because I was working with Marcelo and Khalid. And then I knew that I had no relation with Brandon. So like, if I can get him out, I can destabilize Naveed because I did not want to target you in the beginning. So like, I had some thoughts.
Dedicated.
And then I had a dot system of like who I wanted to work with. So like green dots, to Jacob's point, were like people I wanted to work with. So Chelsea was like a 3 green dot, as was Mel and Nicole.
Okay.
Whereas like Jacob, I think I had 2 red dots because I didn't think that was going to work out.
That's amazing.
But
Daniel Kennedy is here. Hold on.
Yes. Oh my God.
Daniel!
Hi,
This is
hi,
so much
babe.
fun. Thank you for coming so last
Oh my
minute.
gosh. Thank you so much for
I have a
inviting
lot-
me. I literally got myself up to the couch. I was like, I gotta go there for Sosa.
Hey!
Absolutely.
Rob's queen.
if you guys are still doing this in a couple hours, I might be on, but I have a lot of stuff going on right now. So I just wanted to stop by and say hello and just support for the 20 minutes I could.
That's amazing.
It was so nice seeing you, Jacob.
But yeah, I just wanted to pop in and say
Is there still
hello.
anything you want to share?
But what?
I was going to say, is there anything you wanted to share? I feel like
Yeah.
fair opinion.
I'm quite proud of how I played this night because I feel like I lasted a lot longer than I should have, considering that. So the funny moment, I think my favorite moment with you, Sosa, during the game is I think I was in a room with, I forget, it might have been Kaylee, but I was like screaming. I was like, all of my allies are going home because like Emily, DK, Alona, Chelsea all left, and then I'm sitting there like, everything's fine, like trying to like reassess the game. So I'm screaming and I'm like, all of my allies are gone. I lost all my numbers. As Sosa comes in and Sosa goes, so you lost all your numbers, huh? And I was just like,
Bro,
I get it right now.
I was so over all my so-called people because first round, Nav and Cammy didn't save me and I had saved Cammy. I was in a room with Cammy in room 1. We locked eyes. And she
I'm pissed off. I tweeted about it and everything. I saw you guys link eyes.
Oh.
And then you did.
So I'm like, okay. And going in there, it was, my Black Girl Magic, Nav, Cammy, Dylan, Daniel K, because Dasha messaged me about you, and Jacob. So now this is another person saying all people are gone. So I'm like, oh, I don't mean shit to Jacob. I'm over it. That's how I feel.
I definitely had you as one of my people preseason, but we didn't get into a lot of rooms during the first couple rounds, so I didn't establish like an in-game alliance with you. And I was like, oh, she's well connected with a lot of other people because you didn't get to play Sequester. You were out in the influencer mini because of tech issues. And I was like, nobody is saying her name. She obviously has an alliance because like you were one of the more disconnected players, but nobody was going after you. Nobody is even throwing out your name as an easy vote like they did to Joshua, like they tried to do to Dan at some points. I was like, oh, she's in something, and I'm not in it. Oh, she's not with me. Okay. And that's why I was like, okay, I can't depend on her.
Nobody was saying Sosa's name. That was not allowed. No.
I was so surprised.
Not happening.
I did not think like jury was my goal at least. I just didn't want to get dragged by everyone on Twitter like, oh my god, she had no gameplay.
No, but I think I made it a lot longer than I should have. And I think that was I was quite proud of myself for what I did because even though like all of the odds were stacked against me, I got LOS out right before jury, and damn, that was a brilliant play. I saw your explanation of that, of like how you called me out so people would throw votes on me to try to get me out when you saved your LOS. Brilliant play, like really good move right there. And it was smart because we didn't have a connection. I probably would have dragged you if you voted me. So like the fact that you're able to get me out on a drag round and not be one of the voters, I thought that was like an amazing play. And I was like, you know what? I was robbed and got like I was robbed in the mini of robbed players, so I'm proud of myself, and it was fun. And I have friends now, so I'm fine.
Totally. You did amazing.
Yeah,
Thank you. I'm glad I got to meet everybody. I just wanted to stop by and say hello. Have fun with your little show. I'm so glad you're here, Sosa.
Thank you.
Bye, Jacob.
Bye.
Aquarius gang for life.
Aquarius gang for life.
Oh my god. So many Aquarians.
Can't relate.
Literally cannot relate. I have no Aquarius in my birth chart.
Hi
Oh,
guys.
Oh my gosh.
Hi.
What a nice surprise.
Hi.
How are
Aw.
you?
How's everyone?
I think Sosa's
Living-
frozen.
Oh,
Yeah,
she's back.
so
There she is.
not so surprised freezing on
So
a
your
phone.
internet is something else.
What's going on, Halid?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm
How's
good.
everyone doing?
Good.
Oh,
We just wanted to
Sweaty.
recap and talk. I know not everyone made it to the after show that was done.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know, Khaled, if you did, but if you want to talk anything about your game, anything that kind of blindsided you, Daniel, how you put up a fight? Like you
I
put up
did.
a fight to stay so many rounds,
Yes.
and obviously it was just a tethering round that got really
Yeah.
difficult.
That
And I
was
want to
bad.
say, like, unfortunately, I did put my vote on you that round.
You had to.
Only because, well, I was blindly devoted and loyal to Dylan, and because Bill was Dylan's boy, I
Yeah.
thought, okay, I'm
No,
not gonna vote on him.
here's the thing, like looking back at it, I think I was really screwed that round because I was in a room. The room that we started in was me, Bill, Jacob, and Alona. And I think that if I wasn't in a room with Bill or Jacob, I would have gone for them immediately. And I would have tried going really hard to get the ball rolling because I knew there was no way that I can get the votes on you and the V. Just because I knew y'all were socially connected to some people, and I personally wanted to play with both of you. I had made that connection early before the game, so I felt I'd wasted time in a room where you're supposed to be like, oh yeah, let's not go against each other. There's only one other pair in here. But Alona actually had an LOS that round too that she did not play.
Why
not?
She got it that round. So as we were campaigning, she had received the LOS. So she felt confident that we weren't getting the votes.
No.
Yeah,
That's
I
so bad.
think if I had been able to find her after that initial room, we had a signal before the game. Me and her were basically final two, and we had a signal of like if either of us had an LOS.
Sorry,
And,
Dylan's backstage.
Oh, perfect. And I think if I had saw her again, I would have been like, play it. But and you know, at the end of the day, like I was just really excited to be there, and I had a lot of fun with it. And to get out the way that I did, like, yeah, it sucked that I didn't get to play as much, but I also have played Sequester about 5 times now, and I didn't need this opportunity to like you, Sosa. You use this opportunity to show that you are a player and that you actually can play the game. Like, it's not that I didn't need this. It's my performance didn't matter to me. I was just there to have fun, go for it, really play hard with who I consider the best of the best. And there's no hard feelings from my front because I thought it was a great time. And to watch it all unfold and to watch the pre-game alliances kind of swing for the fences was a treat. So
Yeah.
Danny, you should have been on any All-Star cast. Like when they go to villains, I was like, oh, Daniel. Shadows. Daniel. So,
yeah, I don't know. I really like Sequester. It's a super fun concept, and like I know it's helped so many people through quarantine. And when there's nothing else going on in the world, where you're stuck at home, and of course I live with my boyfriend, so that obviously is a distraction and a good one, obviously. But I wanted something a little bit more. Just kidding. Just don't tell him that. But yeah, Sequester is amazing. I will never say no to play Sequester. And so being invited back to All Stars after playing 2 times, because that game was my 3rd time playing in about 8 days.
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
God.
Yeah. Well, so
No.
originally I was only supposed to play 1 time in a span of like a month. And then I got asked to play a game about 2 or 3 days before the game had started. And then after I had accepted that one, the day before I played Blood versus Water with Khalid, I got invited to play All Stars, and I just figured.
It's funny that we both played Blood vs. Water, knowing we'd we'd play again on Friday.
Yeah, right. And so I was just very like, I can't say no to Audrey. Like, who says no to Audrey? You do what
Right.
she says, right? And so I kind of was like, okay, well, I'm gonna put myself through it, and this will be my spree of Sequester, and then I'm done. And I actually think of all of them, I had the best time playing Blood vs. Water, but I think I had the most. I look at these games as learning. I look at everything as learning moments, right? You take what you get from life, and Sequester is one of those things for me. And I think I took like the fact that how much I'm really grateful that I met so many people through this experience. Putting yourself out there in a community where people are constantly publicly scrutinizing you, and putting yourself out there to thousands of people watching you is very tough, and it makes you appreciate those who surround you with love and support. And I think like our cast really does that pretty well. Like I've only received love from everyone after the game has been over. I know some people can't say the same, but I think that's just due to virtue of the game itself. But like especially like people like you, Sosa, for inviting people onto your platform and allowing people to share their voice through your world is really amazing. And, yeah. So I want to say thank you for you among other people who have used your voices to allow people like me who are little nerds and losers who like the game to talk about our little world with you.
DK, I just wanted to say, like, I was talking to Angelica earlier today. I'm like, I am just so sad that it took this long to connect with you, because like you're just like you're just like everything I ask for.
Sorry, my connection's acting up. I'm gonna close this or something.
it was such a pleasure to be sitting in that room with you for an hour pre-game and like speak.
I had a panic attack if you didn't catch that. I had a panic attack
I saw it in your face.
15 minutes. I was just very, people have different expectations to what the game is and what people bring to the table. And I just knew so many people like hate on me. And I just felt that I usually don't feel that pressure because like I'm a very confident person. I like who I am. I'm very in love with myself. Like not in a conceited way, but just like I know who I am. I know what I'm bringing to the table. I live that 100%. But, sometimes with hate, it gets in your brain. And I just felt like 10 minutes before the game started, I'm like, I made a mistake. Like, I should just go disappear. I'm going to get off. I'm going to go take a nap and everything will be okay. It's life and hate gets to you. And so I had a little bit of a moment because I'm usually not the one to put myself out there in a public spectrum. But to do it so many times in a recent week and to just consistently have people like amazing, lovely tweets about me, but also like, crazy horrible tweets about you that you get, it comes both ways. And most of the time, I would say 95% of the time, I don't know how you guys experience this, like hate tweets or whatever like that. Most of the time it doesn't, I don't let it impact me, but you don't know when you become vulnerable until it hits you. So I think I felt really vulnerable right before the game started when you're in your own process in your own mind, when you're sitting there for an hour thinking about what are you doing? Like, how are you going to do this? And then you think about all those things. But how do you guys deal with that? How do you guys deal with tweets like that or people and your own mind?
I was going to say that, like, one thing that threw me off so much in the beginning of the game was that Audrey, after the first round, like, right before, like, the vote, she sent me a message and she was like, college, so that the audience has been saying that, like, you went to the bathroom for, like, a long time, so, like, it looks very suspicious. And I was like, I was so thrown off by it. Like, I was completely thrown off by it because, like, I would be the last person to, like, ever think to, like, cheat or do anything like that, And Audrey wasn't accusing me or anything, like, I don't, obviously, but, like, she was saying that, like, some people, like, were saying that or, like, noticed that, And I was just completely thrown off for, like, I think the entire second round, I was like, I couldn't think because I couldn't believe that anyone would ever think that about me because I love this game so much, But then I was like, screw these people, like, they don't know what's going on, like, you know,
exactly.
like
you could have needed to shit, damn.
We've all been there. We've all been there.
You get like anxious shits. I get it.
Yeah.
Exactly. I know. I literally sent Aubrey a message. I literally just drink so much water because I'm so anxious. Like, that's literally it.
I've been there.
I don't care.
I've been there when a previous game I had gone pretty far, and she messaged me in the final. There were 6 of us left, and she said, "Hey, by the way, some people are thinking that you're cheating right now, and I don't want to give you a penalty
Dylan
vote.
was here and he left. Oh,
Come back, Dylan.
Come back, Dylan. We need you.
message him.
And I was so drunk at that point that I was like, I'm so sorry. I think I'm just really wasted. Like, I'm not doing anything wrong, I swear. Like, I couldn't even remember my words at that point. But Audrey sends those messages because, like, she cares about this just as much as we do. And she doesn't want us to, she doesn't want us to, you know, break the rules. And
guys,
yes.
Yeah.
I want to let Dylan in here. Can we swap?
Yeah, you can swap me out. I actually have to go. But thank you so much, Sosa, for like having me on for like a couple minutes. It's really nice, and I'm so glad I met you through this.
Bye,
Holly.
Bye, Holly.
I'm like lagging so hardcore.
Oh,
You're
yeah. Yeah, you can put me on. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye, Colin. Okay.
He's so sweet. He's such
the best. The best.
Dylan.
He's such a cutie.
8-bit Dylan.
Speaking of,
the mastermind.
8-bit V Dylan. Come on.
8-bit Dylan in the cut.
What does that mean?
Like
8-bit
8-bit.
8-bit.
Like,
how are you
know
doing?
what 8-bit is, no?
Good. I'm doing
I know what
good.
8-bit
Like,
is.
stands for like retro games.
Thank you so much for coming.
Yes.
I never got invited to an after show, so I wanted to just like,
Call him out.
Yeah, she never got the link. So.
What?
No, I think it sucks because we kind of overtook Podquester that night,
Yes.
and then we didn't do one the next day, and I was like, damn it, we shouldn't have had that.
Do you have
conversation
what?
that night. But it's I know it sucks that we didn't get like a proper after show.
It's what we needed that too. Like
why
out of all minis.
Out of all minis.
Out of all minis, it's like
because I just think a lot of people are being seen as super bitter, and I mean, at least from my point of view, I don't feel that way, and I think a lot of the cast does not feel bitter towards the people in the game. So I think that would clear up a lot of things.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Like, no one is upset about like whatever Bill and y'all did. Like, I think people are more upset that their one chance at All Stars was the guinea pig pre-game thing. Which, like, if I ever play again in a predetermined cast, you better know I'm spending the full week like
order.
You know what I mean? Like, every single day, like, I'm making alliances with everyone. And I don't care if they're fucking exposed.
Totally.
I'm making code names. I'm getting alphabet.
You gotta do
numbers.
Like, one wink, vote
yeah,
out.
exactly.
LOS.
Exactly.
Dead. No, I think that night, like, I was just so overwhelmed and upset with like what happened, and so I just like took my anger out on like what was like the most presentable thing to me, and then as I was on Podquester, I'm like, this is so childish. Being mad for what? Mad at who? Right? There's no reason to be mad. Like, I woke up the next day. I'm like, who's mad for what? Grow up.
That's how I was. Like, I was upset right after it happened, of course, because I was like, oh my gosh, like, how did this happen? Like, why did this happen to me? But then after, like, when I went to bed, or as I was like actually processing it, because, you know, as humans, we take a while to process things. We're not very good at quick things, especially when we're in very high intense environments. I realized that it's just a game. We are all good people and we all mean well, and there's no prize. So let's just drink and have fun.
Exactly.
Okay, I had to. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Sorry, I had to move. My internet stays robbing me.
Players, give your moderator 2 thumbs up.
Good.
Oh my
Okay.
God.
So Dylan, I was telling everyone how you are an Oscar nominee, acting skills on point. Okay. Do you remember when I approached you about Dylan, about Bill, and I was like, Bill, why is your boy putting my name out there? Why is he targeting me? And Dylan said, oh no, you can. I just told him not to target you, but you can do whatever you want to him. Like, he had no association. Bill was not his friend from anywhere. Like, I would never have thought.
Yup.
And when we first started this, Abby, we were kind of like giving our opinions on like pre-gaming.
Yeah.
And me and Abby, at least, we don't think it's this big of a deal. But we're also mentioning that there's levels to pre-gaming. Like the standard pre-gaming is a couple DM exchanges. Like you're safe with me, like me and you, Dylan. Like we didn't really pre-game. Like you DM'd me. I was like, yeah, you recruited me. I'm loyal to you, like whatever.
Yeah.
But he wasn't out here giving me a list and a map. Dan has a whole map. But then there's also, if there's like a relationship, like you knew Cammie and Bill and you've been friends for years, so I don't think it's so much like they're pre-gaming and doing all these crazy things, but they do have like a strong loyalty. I don't think anything wrong with that.
I think what a lot of, and sorry if you hear birds in the background, my birds acting up.
My birds.
My birds. Apologies. But I think one thing that a lot of people, I completely get the anger that is towards the way that we pre-gamed, in the sense that like having 4 votes, like already being predetermined, that like we knew that we could fall back on, made a lot of people mad. But also like we did not think that those 4 votes were solid. Like at any point, Mel could have stabbed me in the back, Bill could have stabbed me in the back, Cammie could have stabbed me in the back. We knew Cammie was making other alliances, like with Navit and Sosa. I had my own other separate alliances outside of the 4. Like I was working with Sosa, I was working with Jacob, I was working with Joshua, and Kaylee, and Bill had his own like thing going on as well. So it just kind of like happened that we all were really committed to this 4, and we didn't put a lot of stock into it. We were like, okay, we'll make a game plan. You know, I trust these 4, but like we played enough Sequester collectively out of the 4 of us to know that like these types of things never work out. Like someone's gonna stab someone at some point, and it worked. And we were like at the halfway point in the game, we're like, I think it was the point when Mel played an LOS on me that I was like, oh, this is real shit right now. Like, holy shit. Like, okay, we're into this 4. Like, I'm 100% down. Like, I will do whatever it takes to make sure that this 4 is solid, because it showed me that, like, she was willing to play that on me. She trusted me enough. And Mel was, like, the one person in the 4 that I didn't know for long periods of time. I had just met her, like, for this game. And I get it. Like, there is different degrees of pre-gaming, and I get that people were mad that those 4 votes seemed solid, but I really wish that the vote chart would come out, because I guarantee you the 4 of us did not vote the same way for many of the ways. Like Bill even admitted that he didn't follow the plan most of the time. Cammie didn't follow the plan most of the time. I tried to get people on board. Like if you go back and rewatch it, it looks like I got a dandruff problem. How much I'm scratching the back of my head trying to get people like follow the plan, and they're just not following it. So it is interesting. I do think I get like the argument that people are saying where it's like we've been saying like it's 4 versus 18, but in actuality it's not 4 versus 18, because like the 18 of you guys were not all linked up with each other. But there were like pockets of like 3 people that were cool with each other here, 3 people that are cool with each other here. We just kind of went a little bit more in depth with our 4 that we thought everyone else was doing, and then we learned very quickly in the game that no one else had done it to the extent that we had done it. So I get it. I get like all the degrees for it.
I mean, there were still other alliances, though. Like, I wasn't a part of it, but I knew there were other alliances formed, and they had talked about sticking together. So that's why, like, I'm personally, like, not upset, because I wasn't in another alliance that could really be like, well, we failed at taking out another alliance. But I think those people they can talk about that on their own, because I certainly wasn't a part of that. So that's why I'm not personally mad at y'all, because y'all did that. Congrats. You beat the other people. So, good job.
Exactly.
Yeah, I was in 3 trios, so like I'm not mad. Like
who are your trios? Who are your trios, Anne?
You and Cammie, Brandon and Shannon, because I played with them the Saturday before that, and then Marcelo and Angelica.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm not. I can't complain.
Right. I think Mel brought up a really good point, and I thought that was one of the more interesting things, at least from my perspective, towards the end game, was Mel like try to take a stab at me at that final 6 after playing an LOS on me earlier in the game. And so it was this weird dynamic where like Mel really was doing the damn thing. Like Mel would have fucking ran that shit and won if she got to the like final two. And I agree with you, Mel. I think you telling me that you had found and played an LOS on me put the like a little red flag on you, being like, oh shit, she's really good at this. Like, and then that's how I kind of came to terms with knowing that like either you or Bill had found the super LOS at 6 because it hadn't been played yet, and I was like, ain't none of these bitches leaving the game here with a super LOS and not saying it on the
Mel and a super LOS. Mel's actually backstage, and you also have Angelica in the fall.
Yeah, you can swap me out.
me.
Yeah. I want to say thank you, Sosa, for letting me come on your platform. I really
it's my
appreciate
pleasure,
that.
man. I'm sorry I'm lagging.
No,
you're not,
everyone.
actually.
All love to the cast, and don't be a stranger. Bye, guys.
Thank you, Daniel. Such a doll. I want to bring.
So, do you want me to go?
Angelica.
Suck up, bitch.
Welcome, Angelica.
What's up, girl?
Angelica.
I was just sad, like the chat was okay for me, but I didn't want to feel like I was trying to like push my way in. Sorry, guys.
And I have to leave here in like 5-ish minutes anyway, so then Mel can take my spot.
I was just saying that like
more about the final four.
yeah, Mel can talk way more about the final. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, Mel's here too.
Does anybody have like the list of people eliminated?
The what?
Like after list of people eliminated after I left, because I have no idea.
So you went,
Oh, the boot order.
so you went,
After you, it
then it was
was
Marcelo.
Then it was Shannon.
yeah.
Oh yeah, Shannon was right after me.
Then it was Jacob, who dragged Raymond.
Right.
Then it was Marcelo, Khalid, me, Sosa, Kaylee, Sosa,
Yeah.
final four.
Who got voted out at
Yeah.
40?
I
Mel?
felt so bad.
Mel did.
Mel. Rip. That was so sad.
Yo, Mel went rogue.
Mel would have won 7-0.
When she was almost gonna drag
Yeah.
Dylan, I was like, yes.
Sosa literally got Brittany.
Poor
Right?
Sophie.
She got Brittany.
It was literally the brigade telling Brittany that they
It
were
was so
voting her out because they've all voted.
Oh.
Like, that's exactly what happened.
That's
That
heartbreaking.
was so sad.
And to be fair, I don't even know if I would have gone for Mel in that final four if she had not come for me earlier. I probably would have gone for Bill, and then see where that went. But because she went for me earlier, I was like, well, now I have a reason to say.
It's so weird too. In the evens round, we had 4 votes on Bill. I'm pretty sure all the 3 people I was voting with all told me they did vote that way. So I'm guessing a 5th person put a vote on Bill.
I
They
voted.
probably did.
There's another room that had Bill.
You did?
There was another room that wanted Bill out.
Oh no.
I want to watch that back because I don't understand what
It
happened
was
there.
me, Mel, who didn't do it, and I'm sure she can jump on to say she didn't. Jaspreet and Shannon.
Yeah, mine was just Breet, Holland, and Avit.
You know what's funny is if
You're not.
Bill had left
Oh,
the
really?
game and our
Okay.
say it again. Oh, if Bill had left the game, what are you doing? Go away!
I love this song.
Alexa, play.
That's incredible. Yeah, no, oh my god.
I'm so sorry, you guys. So embarrassing. Dylan left?
Okay, sorry about that. Anyway,
No, it's there.
can you guys hear me?
Oh,
Yeah.
Dylan!
Okay. So what I was saying is, if I had lost Bill, shut up.
Wow.
It's my husband.
He's like, are you still talking about that fucking game?
Yeah, that's exactly what he's doing right now. He's like, God, shut the fuck up about
That
this.
is so sweet.
Basically, if Bill had gone, I probably would have linked up with Sosa and Cammy, and seen if we could get Mel
We were
to
robbed.
be okay with us bringing Sosa. That or Dan, me, Mel, and Cammy.
Oh my god,
'Cause
I
know Mel
remember.
talked up Dan a lot.
Dylan. This was the round when
Oh, we can't hear.
Hello?
Bill
Oh,
was trying to get out Dan. And Dylan said to me, I'm like, I'm going to put my vote on Kaylee anyways, because she was my bounty. And then Dylan said, I'm down for whatever, but you know, if you go against the majority, you have become a target. And I'm thinking like, what? What's going
on? Was that him on purpose?
Do you remember that?
He can't hear.
Dylan can't hear us. I think he's leaving.
Oh, he's leaving?
Bye, Dylan.
Okay.
Bye, Dylan.
We should all have like a game night or something.
I'd be down.
Yeah.
Oh,
bye. Dylan. So we have Mal in the cut. Mal next.
Oh my god, Queen Mel.
Hey,
Mel. Hi.
I made a big mistake during the pregame of the game. Bill messaged me and he wanted to make a group chat with Mel and Dan and I said don't.
Oh, come on.
No to an alliance. Don't say no to a fucking alliance. And I
can't hear Mel.
Yeah. I was muted. So smart. Yeah, Angelica, he told us that too. He's like, Angelica doesn't want a group chat with us, so he's like, I don't know why. So he thought what happened was you heard that Dan was going out first and didn't want to be a part of it.
Marcelo told me that Dan was being weird to him in his DMs, and it made me feel like Dan was up to something shady, and I didn't want him in the group.
A mess.
Curious.
Like,
why
am I lagging?
So you're not lagging.
Yeah, you're not for us.
You're not.
I'm not lagging. It's just because you guys are coming through like disordered, though. It sucks. Like I didn't hear Dan just now, or Angelica.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now, Angelica. What about Dan?
That was Mel.
Okay, I can hear you. And Mel?
Yeah. Hello.
Okay, I heard that. Hello. Nav, I think you're good.
Yeah.
Okay,
Nicole wants to come on. You can dev swap. I can go backstage.
I can hear now.
I thought StreamYard had.
So, Mel, thank you so much for hopping on.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
I'm sad that you missed Dylan, though. But Mel, when you...
I was here when he was talking.
Oh, you here? Okay, yeah, I saw you were backstage. Can we speak on that time, Mel, when you were like, Sosa, if you vote out Kaylee right now, you're next. I was so scared. I was so scared, but I just didn't understand. I didn't know if I wasn't understanding the numbers. I was in the dark about the 4 People Alliance, but that was a moment of honesty from your point, from your place, and I slept. I didn't do it.
Okay, this was 5 hours into the game. My brain was absolute garbage. We got to the beginning of the round, and I knew at some point I had to turn on these guys because I thought at that point they all beat me. And at 7, when they were going for Dan, I was like, it feels too early to turn. I felt like if I turned at that point on them and tried to keep Dan, that they would all gun for me the next round and I'd be screwed. So I let Dan go, and then it was 6, and then I was like, this just has to be my time to do it. So I didn't tell you properly about the fact that this was a tight alliance, and didn't realize the fact that even if you did vote Kaylee, it would be a tie.
Yeah, you and Dan were aligned pregame, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the one thing that I always continue to think about this, if you had voted with me with Bill flipped on it, then I would have gotten safety. We would have played the game, and we would have had 2 shots of getting you safety.
But I would have had to survive the next round, though. Because if you would have got Bill, we would have been at 6. Then at 6, I had the LOS at 6. That's fair.
But didn't you guys play the game next?
No, game was at 5.
What was 6 then? Just a straight vote?
6 was just straight, yeah.
Oh, okay.
But I had the LOS, so it would have been fine. I should have played the LOS on Kaylee, but I was not. We had not talked pregame about the fact that, like, I had assumed because the other 3 people were close to the alliance, I thought that if me, the outsider, turned on them, they had some secret agreement to say, okay, the second that one of us turns, we're going to go gun for them. So I thought if I tried to go for Dylan and didn't play the LOS on me, I thought I'd be getting 3 votes.
Okay.
Abby, what were your favorite moments? I'm curious.
Pardon?
It's Abby, right?
Abby.
Yeah.
Hi.
Some of your favorite moments.
Abby, I know you're on Twitter, but I'd nice to meet you.
Hi, Queen.
I'm a huge Abby fan.
Oh my God, stop it. I'm a huge All of You fan. Favorite moments? Okay, definitely Final 6, because I feel like when Mel did that was just so iconic. And to be honest, I didn't even know if she was being
So
for real.
iconic.
I think a lot of people thought like
So
she
funny
was chatting
afterwards to
shit.
see people be like, "Oh, was she acting?" And I'm like, "Oh,
Yeah, and then to realize it was actually real, and then how you got out of it. And at 5, they still didn't want to vote you. So I was like, wow, this is some queen.
I
shit
was
for real.
safe at 5. They couldn't vote
Yep.
me.
Oh
Otherwise,
yeah.
they probably would have tried."
Oh my days. It was just that was good.
So
what other
Mel,
moments? I can't remember.
Yeah.
were there any? Was there anyone that was like bitter from your gameplay?
I don't want to
Oh man.
out.
You said
I
yeah.
know some people don't like it, and honestly, that's fine. If people are hurt and upset and they didn't have fun, I am completely owning that. That's totally fine, because at the end of the day, like DK said, this is a game. It's a silly game. I want people to have fun. When I came in here, I was expecting this to be winners at war. I was expecting everyone to all out full pre-gaming. So when I pre-gamed, I'm like, okay, hopefully we're like even a little bit prepared for this. And then we come in and it's like, oh, no one pre-gamed. I can't believe you guys pre-gamed so much. I'm like, oh, I'm such a jerk now.
Oh, no.
But fortunately, like a lot of people have understood, and I really, really appreciate that, because I didn't like it. Came out and I saw so many people were hurt, and I felt really bad because that's not what I wanted. I just wanted to have fun. So
Don't feel bad.
I had paragraph long
much hate
messages.
at all.
I had paragraph long messages from Mel as soon as she got out of the game. Like literally, as soon as the game ended, my DMs went like Mel, like this long.
Oh.
And I was like, I'm in a bad mood. You don't need to explain yourself. We'll talk about it tomorrow.
No, honestly, that's fine. I messaged her. I was like, if you want to totally ignore this, like, please, like, don't feel like you have to. But I just want her to feel like, yeah, she had to spend the whole night being like, thinking there was this like big, awful like boot list that she was only the top of because she started with A. So I wanted to get the facts out there. If she wanted to read it later, that was totally cool, and that's what happened. So it was good.
No, I really appreciate that. That made me feel a lot better knowing that, like,
Good.
at least it wasn't just a random alphabet. It was that I came in with a fucking huge target. And I looked back at like when Audrey posted the tweet, when she tweeted out the cast, the first like 6 comments, everyone mentions me. So I was like, if I was another player reading that, it's Angelica, 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 Angelica. You know what I mean? Like it was just too big of a target, and I didn't game properly around that. It was all that was my fault. I was scared because Sosa didn't answer my DM, and I was like, oh shit. And then somebody was like, she doesn't follow you. It's in her message request.
That was me.
That made me feel better.
Do not come for Sosa. It's fine. She's good.
Those follows those are currency, man. Those follows are huge currency.
As soon as the cast went live, literally maybe 15 seconds, I got a follow and a DM from Dylan. I figured I was the first person he DM'd because of how quick it was. I don't know if that's true, but it was quick.
I followed everyone, but I was hoping it wouldn't appear sketchy. I know when Taryn played in the influencer one, Sosa, you guys had more strategic follows. Like some people followed some
you gotta do strategic follows.
Yeah, and so I was worried that they'd be like, oh, Mel followed everyone. What, is she trying to pregame or something? But I'm like, fuck it, I want to be friends with them all, so let's just follow them all. But I didn't talk to everyone.
Yeah.
I had no shame. I was like, boop.
Gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah.
Well, Dan and I are in a group chat for a private mini we're playing together next week. So we have that already.
We have Nicole backstage. So I don't know if someone wants to be so kind and be willing to swap or go back.
Backstage.
Put me in the backstage.
I don't mind.
Who doesn't mind?
They're like, get me out of here.
It doesn't matter. I can do it too.
I'll just go in the backstage.
Nav?
Dan.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm voting
I'm
Dan.
having problem hearing. So if someone say Dan, okay. I want to do Dan.
No, it's all
do
good.
Dan or Naveed? Who wants to go? Okay,
Just
I'm
do
going to
Dan.
say Dan. Bye, Dan. We're gonna get my arch nemesis Nicole in here.
Oh my god, Nicole!
I didn't know arch nemesis at all, but that's okay. I didn't view you as my
How are
arch
you?
nemesis.
Thank you for waiting. I'm sorry it took a while.
That's okay. That's good. I have a margarita. I'm happy.
Yes.
Yes.
How's it going?
Good. I'm really excited to talk to people. I know I kind of disappeared after, but
because you didn't make it to the after show either, so we never got to hear much of like Nicole and what was going through your mind.
I was
everything.
watching from my bed, but I was like so tired. So I just went to bed.
It's exhausting.
Yeah, but I didn't. I went to bed feeling pretty like fine. So I hope everybody else felt okay. I got to talk to DK after the next day, so that was good because I felt bad, but that's okay.
Nicole, we had a love-hate relationship. I think it was hilarious.
Yeah, well, I felt bad for that too because I threw your name out in self-defense completely, and then you were like, and I was like, oh no.
I remember telling Sosa in the game when I got into a room with her, she's like, Nicole threw my name out, and I said, in her defense, Nicole and Josh were in
you did say that.
Yeah.
and they had to come up with a third name.
Yeah.
So,
but you know, this is what made Nicole scary to me, though.
I'll hear this.
I understand having to put out names, totally fine.
Yeah,
not a big deal. But then I was in a room with me, Raymond, probably Nav, because Nav was everywhere I was, and she was capping for Nicole so hard. Even though me and Nav had clients, for some reason, she was so obsessed with keeping Nicole safe. So
that was because Raymond really wanted Nicole safe because like you guys are close, I'm assuming,
because what
together.
Well, we had talked like a very little bit, but we had played together, so I think both.
Okay.
He especially, even more than me, probably assumed that we were going to really have each other's back.
Yeah, no, I honestly, I was okay with getting Nicole out, but like, I was just always in a room with Nicole, I felt, and I was like, oh my god.
I saw you a bunch in the beginning.
Pardon?
I did see you a bunch in the beginning.
It was, yeah, but no, like
So
I wasn't in an alliance with Nicole.
Sorry, what was the question?
Oh, my thing's lagging.
Well, wait.
You'll wait? Okay.
Well, wait till you
hear me.
So you can.
No, yeah, we can hear you.
Okay.
Speak.
So yeah, we were in that room. Was me, Nav, whomever, and this is how it worked from my point of view. Like I was just living my best life. I was ready to go with like the flow of whoever they wanted to vote out. Okay, and what happened? Okay, so then I had a list of people who I thought were loyal to me. Me and Nicole hadn't talked game, so on that list of people who were like disposable in that, you know what I mean, like who I could say their name at least.
Absolutely.
Because we hadn't spoken. She was on that list, so I had said her name, but Raymond shut that down. Nav shut that down, and they're like, no. And I'm like, okay, if you're sure, whatever. So then Nicole comes into the room and she's like, has anybody said my name? And then Nav's like, oh, you're safe, girl. You're safe. Don't worry, blah, blah, blah.
I know
Everyone,
exactly this.
Yeah, I know exactly when.
Like,
and then so I was like looking at her. And then I was like, okay, whatever. I'm going to wait till another round to Nicole's name. But at that point, something told me, like I'm just going along blindly with this plan. I should try and like lock something down with Nicole and say, okay, look, I'm not gonna put a vote on you this round if you have me safe the next round. But I left it alone. I hop rooms. I end up with Josh. Haven't met him at all in this game, and he goes, Sosa, great. Nicole just said your name.
Well, Josh was defending himself very aggressively too, which I totally understand. We were all on fight or flight mode, 100%.
Came from a room with her, and like from her demeanor, I would never in a million years thought she said my name. You're good.
It's one of my superpowers, I think.
You didn't have an ounce of guilt on your face.
Well, I also knew deep down that I wasn't actually gunning for you, but that's fine.
Wait, you weren't actually gunning for me?
Not at that point. I don't remember who I was really going for. I feel like it was Josh. I was probably really freaking Josh.
Yeah, it was, yeah. You guys were in a room and he was like, so who else? And you was like, Sosa's internet's a bit rubbish, and then he immediately ran and told Sosa.
Nicole, I thought you
needed a real reason, that's all.
I thought you were on to me because you caught me in a room alone with Josh right after that.
So I would love to talk to you for a moment because I love you, Angelica, and I loved our chatting, and I love you. And when we got out of the game, one of the first things you did was apologize to me, and I was like, I have no idea what you did. You have to tell me what you did.
I voted for you multiple times, and I only played 7 rounds, so.
So you just pegged me.
Literally, okay, the round that all of us were up, my notes say, you're a champion. You will win. Manifest a win. Not Angelica. I voted Nicole.
Yeah.
Nicole eliminated.
Oh my god.
I didn't think you warranted any apologies, but
It was me or you, I think, at that point. So I pushed hard.
So that was okay. So that was one of my biggest regrets. Ready, and I think this could have saved both of our skins that time. Was the round I went home. You and me were both up, Angelica, but so was Chelsea, and I spent that round pushing for Chelsea. And at the end of the round, you, me, and Chelsea were all in a room, and we all just kind of froze because we were like, "Oh shoot, we're all here." And I wish more than anything I had just said to her face, "We need to vote Chelsea," because I feel like there's a smallest chance. Maybe since you were going for me, there wasn't actually a chance. But when I left, I was like, I should have just had the balls to just say, "Vote Chelsea," right in front of her, because that might have changed the fate of everything. But I froze instead, so then I was out. But I wasn't gunning for you that round either.
I remember that round where I think, Josh ended up going out, but like Nicole was up. And that room, I'll never forget that moment because it was like me, Raymond, Sosa, and Cammy, and we were all like freaking out because that was a moment. And then we're all like, okay, yeah, like we could do Nicole. And then Raymond just like kind of froze. He's like, I don't want to do Nicole. And I'm like, hey, we can't waste any time. Like, let's just throw out another name. And is that the round? We were like, should we just vote out Emily this round? And then we all are like, oh.
Yeah, we did vote out Emily that round.
I think that was Josh and then Emily the next round.
Now that we brought up Emily, I hope you guys can hear me. Yes. I really want to know what was the controversy or like the blind side with the Emily eviction.
Emily's name was out there as one of the first targets in the pregame, at least from what I heard.
I don't know where it came from.
There was drama between Kaylee. There was personal drama between Kaylee and Emily.
That's true.
And the thing that struck me as weird was that Kaylee was telling everyone. And I was like, I bet they're going to actually work together and they want us all to think that they hate each other. So I wanted to break them up because I didn't trust it. So I that's why I was fine with voting Emily out, because I really thought the two of them were trying to pull one over on us.
I don't think they were. I think that Kaylee was really excited to be the one to get Emily at some point.
Well, Emily started dating Kaylee's ex-boyfriend after Kaylee, so that they have like a personal.
Yes. But I don't think I don't know where Emily's name came from, because it didn't come from Kaylee. Kaylee was like, I want to keep her around for a little while because, I want to prove to her, or I want to prove to her that I'm not like just being petty. That's what she kept telling me in our group.
I still don't know what happened with the Emily vote. That's the one vote I don't know what happened.
I voted Nicole that round.
A lot of people did.
I think I did vote for Emily.
I don't think I voted for her the round she went out.
I think
that was a 6-5-5 round votes.
Oh, I think that was a tether one where it was 6-5-5. I think.
All I know is the room I was in, I made a plea to them to keep me and vote Emily. And I think, unless the votes come out, the vote chart comes out, I think they did. They voted for Emily that round for me. So
was Emily out third?
Yes, I was fourth.
I need oh my God, I can't even like think. Okay, so it was Brandon, Josh, Emily, Nicole.
Yep.
And then Alona.
DK and Alona.
And then DK and Alona.
And then Angelica, Chelsea, Jasper, myself. Okay. Got it. Yeah, that was super random, that boot order.
Felt random.
I felt like I was on like mostly like on the right side of the vote, but I was still like, whoa, that happened. That's crazy.
So Nicole, who are your alliances coming into the game?
So about 20 minutes after the cast list was announced, I was put into a group chat by Dina randomly with
I knew about this.
With Marcelo, Khaled, and Kaylee. And we just literally were so random, and we just laughed with each other for like the next 24 hours. So we didn't like actually make real plans, but we talked almost nonstop that whole time, and we had a blast. So those are the people I probably felt like the most like we're gonna have each other's backs, but we didn't do any gaming. So that's how I knew a lot about Kaylee's attitude towards Emily. And then after talking to Dan and Mel for a little while, we created a second group and brought them in to have a group of 6 talking. So Mel and Dan and the 4 of us were all talking a lot.
That was my backup group if my group ended up to be garbage.
Well, the group actually did very well, minus me. But, if I had gotten safety the first round, I might have been better.
they'd want you to stay, but once I saw how many people, including Sosa, were gunning like so hard for you, I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna deal with that. Just gonna let you go.
After the second round, I said to Khaled in the room alone, I was like, my life is not long in this game. It's okay. I can be the casualty. I can handle it.
Naveed and I had a plan that we shared our personal allies with each other, said do not go after these people, and then once we get to jury, I'll take out your allies and you take out mine.
Oh, that would have been fun to watch.
Because Naveed said she could never vote out Sosa or Cammy, and I said, okay, I'll do it. And then she said, I told her, don't touch Jacob or Bill.
Okay.
I was saying Bill's name early though, because he said Angelica.
You didn't want me to go after Brandon, and I did anyway. Yeah.
Tear. It's all good.
Yeah. So I was my pregame was basically just like being friendly with people. So probably most of you got to experience that. I was just kind of trying to not be everyone's least favorite person on the cast because I really didn't know anyone before we started. I knew Raymond.
I did try to talk about personal stuff. Yeah.
But I didn't.
That's why I felt so good with Bill.
Yeah, and at a certain point, I stopped reaching out to people because I didn't want it to be like, oh, Nicole's talking to everyone. So I just kind of
did the same thing. There was people actively like at this point. I was like, I'm not going to talk to anyone else.
Right. So I didn't talk to like probably 8 people at all. That probably was part of the reason I was an early target because the people I didn't talk to felt totally fine saying my name. Like I was worried.
Yeah.
Oh well. It's hard.
It was a ride.
Yeah.
It is hard. I think with you, Nicole, because you played very recently, like on the 26th, I think, and that stuck in people's minds. Like I even had someone on like my recent cast reach out to me, be like, I watched Nicole and Raymond's game. Like Nicole's dangerous. I'm like, I know. Like I watched her first game. She is dangerous.
I watched her first game too.
I think if you didn't play like your second game.
Well, if I had known, I'd have been asked to All Stars the week after. I wouldn't have done it.
No, exactly. Were you robbed your first or second game? Because I didn't get to watch your second.
I'm just kidding. I don't know.
She lost to Johnny Stockton.
By one vote.
He just played such a chaotic game.
And I was.
They played so differently.
Yeah. I was very steady, but that's okay. He had to do winners at war. I didn't have to do winners at war, so that was probably the way it's supposed to work out in my head. So
yeah.
When did you get out your second game?
I was in the final 6. I got LOS out at the final 6, and I was gonna win. I'm telling you.
Poor Nicole.
Oh yeah, Nicole, you get all those LOSs. That was what also put a target on your back.
Tammy pointed that out. Yeah.
I didn't realize that wasn't like I guess. Cammy really clung on to that, so I didn't. Whoops.
But you also said it in your intro video that
I know, I
found
have said
3 LOSs. Yeah.
Yeah, I have 5 in 3 games. That's
wow.
Are you willing to share that information?
This is streaming somewhere, right?
Asking for a friend.
Yeah, we are live.
Yeah, but if you're ever playing again, absolutely anyone in this cast is allowed to 100% reach out. I do have some tricks up my sleeve. I was talking to Dan, and she was impressed. So if you're gonna play again, reach out 100%.
Right.
But I do.
The one tip I'll give, like the very basic tip, if no one knows, is just always have the thing typed out in Skype at all times. Like whether that's a dot or an LOS or something. Yeah, I figured everyone knew that one, but that's like the most like the level one. Like if you want to go for LOSs, you got to do that.
And I set up my windows in a very strategic way around the computer.
Yeah. So, but there are some things you can do to increase your chances a little bit, and I'm sure before too long they will all be completely common knowledge, and it won't be a leg up anymore. But
which is kind of a little bit nice, but
I'm
also
not,
really tough.
I'm not holding the secret too close. I'm willing to share because eventually it's going to be common knowledge. But it's fun. It's fun to have a small advantage.
For sure. I feel like she's gonna change the method at some point on how to.
I think so too.
I was suggesting changes, and I got a lot of traction.
Were you the one suggesting like going into rooms with the? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
No, tell me why. That's fine. Tell me why.
I'll tell you why. I think that no one's ever gonna leave a room. No one's ever gonna let someone be alone in a room.
But then you can't strategize, and your name can be floating out, and you're not leaving your room. That's really bad, right? But
if there's 2 of you and you want the LOS, you just sit there and try to wait for the other person to leave.
I try. But also, there's no guarantee a mod would have one, right? So you finally get alone, and you ask the mod if he has an LOS, and he's like, nope. But I think somebody on Twitter made a good analogy. They're like, it's kind of like in Survivor when you know that someone's looking for looking for an idol? What do you do? Do you follow them? Do you leave them alone if you think that they need an idol? Do you how do you handle strategizing around somebody who's actively looking for an idol? I think that it could be really interesting, but I don't think it's necessarily the best idea in the whole world. I just thought it was interesting while I was mulling on it, so I threw it out there. Trying to think of ways to make it feel more fair, because I know people don't feel like it's fair, but
I think this is more fair than the original, which was whoever can vote the fastest, because that came like strictly down to fastest internet, and now there's at least another element. Yeah,
that's another thing.
Yeah, I could not imagine playing with that rule, like voting the fastest.
That one doesn't even make sense to me. I'm sure
I feel like
I didn't know when we could vote. I was like, so as soon as you start saying the sentence, can I send? Or as soon as it after? If I do it too early, does it not count? Like
exactly. The fastest after what point? I have no idea.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Sosa, did you play when that rule was still in place?
Sorry, what'd you say?
Did you play when that rule was still in place, where you're the first person to vote?
I don't think she did.
What's still in place?
No. When you type in who you're voting for and then you get an LOS.
Yeah, that was the original way to get an LOS.
No.
You were the first person to vote.
Was that it in the RHAP one, Mel?
Yeah. I think that was the last one or the second last one where she did that. And
that's
then
the first mini I watched.
I know they did it with the Big Brother one. It was the first person to cast a vote got an LOS.
Mel, can I ask how much coaching for pre-gaming you got from RHAP people, or?
Okay, that's a lie. Brent messaged me to tell me to work with Angelica. And then I was like, I said, okay, but it's funny because he messaged me after the game saying, like, I guess you didn't need my help, did you? But no, I didn't talk to any of them. I didn't ask any of them for help. It's all me. Because some people were saying that I only won because I got Taryn's help, which is not true. I didn't win. I didn't win.
Probably one of my dumbest moves was not stopping to think, oh, who could be giving Mel advice and what they could be saying.
That's fair.
But I'm glad that didn't matter.
Honestly, going into this, like I wasn't expecting so much. Like I kind of just, my goal was to not be first boot. So Dan and I were safe. I'm like, oh, I've surpassed my goal. So like I didn't go into this like intense 36 hours of pre-gaming. Like it just, I got invited to this one group of 4 and then your group where I was in with 6. And I was like, okay, this is good. I got some people. I now have some connections. I'm just going to roll with it. That was kind of, I didn't message people for advice or anything like that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nicole, I know you got Joe the Show advice.
Joe the
Josh
Show.
Backstage.
What did he do?
You can take me out.
Joe the Show didn't give me a lot of advice. He at one point said, I think you said something that made Angelica mad at me. Can you please tell her?
Wait, which Josh are you referring to? Josh CEO?
Oh, Joe the Show?
Joe the Show.
Joe the
Not in our mini. And I was like, I don't think I said anything that should have gotten her mad at you because I'm not going for Angelica.
No, somebody told me that Joe was going around telling people how close me, Navate, and Marcelo were. And I DM'd him and I was like, can you shut your fucking mouth?
Yeah. So then he came to me and was like, can you please tell her that I'm not going for her? And
I think I scared him.
Yeah, you did. I got a call from him begging me to help him out.
I'm sure everyone knew.
I was like, Joe. Yeah, as I said, I don't think I said anything. Nobody did it. Everybody didn't already know.
I went as soon as Cass was released. I went back and deleted all my tweets about Navit from the weekend she played for, because I literally tweeted, "That's my best friend," like all this stuff. I was like, delete.
Wait, Angelica, who did you pick for your safety the first round?
Ha! You want to hear this?
Yes.
Bill.
Dad.
Amazing. I love it.
He played me like a fool.
So as tight as our group before was, and as much as we made it, like Bill and I didn't have a final 2. Dylan and Cammie did. Like we didn't plan to save each other. We didn't try and game all these things like we should have. we said we hit the red button and we said we'd hit odds. And I feel like every group chat that I was a part of said the exact same thing.
Oh, apparently we have 5'9" tattoos.
Tattoos.
So
Dan said he thought we all had 5'9". Like we're that close. He thought we had 5'9" tattoos.
Well, and to your defense, since Marcelo was in my group advocating for the fact that you guys were not ride or dies, which maybe you were, but he was saying you weren't, and I had chosen to trust him, so I was not.
The last thing I did 2 minutes before I logged on to StreamYard was send a voice memo to Navit and Marcelo that said, "We ride together, we die together."
I didn't have anyone to hitch my wagon to. I chose Marcelo and Khaled and my gang, and so I had to trust them. I had to.
That's like a fun group, though. It is a fun group.
It was so fun, and I mean, it was
It was so fun.
It's so random too.
It was. It was.
That's why it's like so amazing.
What, the cast?
They're 4 group.
Yeah, the group of 4 that Dina put together.
Mm-hmm.
Because you guys all come from different minis. Well, I guess.
Dash. Good.
Pardon?
I was gonna say the Dash messaged me, Navit, and Marcelo saying, "Please work with DK."
Yeah, because Dash messaged Sosa as well. That same
DK. So the reason I was so sure that DK was like a big problem for me was just because he wrote me probably paragraphs talking about how we shouldn't. Pre-gaming is the worst. We shouldn't be doing it. Like no one's pre-gaming. And so I read that and I was like, who do you think I am? You think I'm going to believe that you're not pre-gaming? And it felt.
He told me.
But now I know
it
was probably pretty honest, but it felt like you're such a gamer, DK. Why would I ever think that you're just sitting there doing nothing? I don't believe you.
And a part of this problem comes with the fact that people have different levels of pre-gaming. So Dylan and I were talking one time, and we said, and DK messaged both of us at the same time, just being like, "Oh, like how you feeling?" And we're like, "He's pre-gaming with all these people, but pre-gaming can be just getting to know you, or pre-gaming can be alliance."
Exactly.
So if you say you're not pre-gaming, and then we both get a message from you,
exactly.
I really made a big mistake. I made a big mistake by, I don't know who I told this to, but I remember I told somebody, I don't have targets going in. I know my name will be out there. My targets are whoever says my name. So Dylan's notebook literally said, target Angelica, do not say her name.
Yes, Angelica.
I made a big mistake by putting that out there. You know what I mean? Because then when they got me out, nobody even said my name.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah,
that was so fun to watch. Sorry.
Kansas said top of the list. Top of the list.
I wanted to like break down when that happened, but I was in a room with Bill, and I was just like, when she got eliminated, part of me died.
And I didn't know my
part of me died.
streak was lagging, so I didn't know I got eliminated. I just saw Navit's face, and I was like, "It's me."
It's me. No!
Because her eyes just went like. And I hadn't heard it yet. Yeah. And I was gonna pick up my crown and break it, and I couldn't get it to break. But what a great gift!
That would have been amazing.
If I was like,
that would have been amazing.
Oh man.
Terrible. Yeah. That was heartbreaking.
I think that's the biggest.
That would have been so Mean Girls.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing that's going to be an advantage for everybody playing next week.
And the whole spiel.
People playing next week are not going to have the same level of miscommunication about what pre-gaming is.
Oh yeah, they're going
that fact.
For sure.
Like you guys were definitely the guinea pigs.
Yes.
Of what not
to do. I wonder when the cast will be released this week.
Well, they probably all got their emails already, so I'm
sure
they're all
going to release it Thursday or Friday. You know what I mean?
She's probably
the only reason she released it Thursday was because people were already talking about it, even though we weren't supposed to be.
I will say I got a message from someone who wasn't playing on Wednesday and said, if you're playing Friday, Alona's playing.
Damn! I got a message Wednesday night at 10, and she says, I need to know ASAP if you're playing. And I had to make my video in I got up at 6 in the morning to do it because I had no time. So there were people, I think someone must have dropped out.
That video?
Okay, I'm sorry. I expected everyone to be Survivor fans. It is a scene from Survivor Borneo that I recreated.
Season 1. Come on,
there we go.
Yeah, I know it. I didn't put the pieces together.
Yeah.
No, it was so dumb. I all of Thursday. I was like, okay, that'll be good because I assumed all the All Stars would make silly videos that weren't about them, and then I watched them all, and everyone's like, "Hi, I'm so and so, and here's my minis," and I'm like, "Oh fuck! Mine's gonna be so stupid."
Well, I thought
mine was stupid.
Pretty close, right? She gave us a little prompt. Yeah.
Well, the first time I played, I was like, here's my silly tagline, and no one else did it because they were all RHAP and had their own little thing. So I'm like, okay, I'm not going to follow the rules because maybe the cool kids don't do that, and then everyone did. And I was same with pre-gaming. I thought I was doing.
I think the best intro video was Holland.
Yes, 100%. I was dancing in the room. I was like, "Here for Mariah Carey."
Marcelo's was really good too.
I had to I laughed and I was like, wait, I can't be laughing. Because,
yeah, when I watched Marcelo's, I watched
expression.
it like this.
We love Holland too.
It's funny, there's all these little things you're worried people will pick up on, but at the moment, you are not looking for that. I mean, maybe someone is, but like the last thing I was thinking to do is like look at all the, no, we couldn't even see the other rooms, I guess. Looking at my room and see the reactions. Like there's too much to worry about.
You can swap me out with Josh if you want, Sosa, because I know he wants to talk.
Josh?
Josh, yeah, he's back there.
Hey, Josh.
Hey, Josh.
Hey, Josh.
Oh my god, this is like. Okay.
Oh, I should have had margaritas.
So something I wanted to do to kind of wrap this up. Unfortunately, my internet is robbing me once again from being a good host. I need to work on that internet core thing.
It's your brand.
But what I wanted to do is maybe like one by one, you guys could all give a tip for a future all-star, or like what you would have done differently if you could. Yeah, what you would have done differently and a tip to future all-stars. Okay, but what I'm gonna do is remove everyone and add you guys one by one, just so I can hear better, because streamer, it's like, okay, thank you. So stay backstage, y'all.
It's gonna take you like 10 years.
Abby, you didn't play, but I'm gonna let you go first.
No, I'm not going to.
No, but just like, or just give your final thoughts, or like what you. Abby needs to play though. Yep. Period.
Okay. Anyway.
So give me advice about my gameplay then. What should I have done? Where did I
listen to your gut? Because I know there was things. I know for a fact there was things telling you that like Dylan and Cammy were close and that maybe you should do this, but you're so trustworthy and like that's all I would say. Listen
loyal
to your gut.
Soil.
I know,
yeah,
but loyal to the wrong soil. Gosh, listen to your gut. For pre-gamers, pre-game properly. Don't be sad that other people pre-game better than you. The game's the game. You know what I mean? That's what I want to say.
No, you're absolutely right. Thank you so much, Abby. Now we're gonna bring up Naveet.
Hello.
Hey, girl. So, letter to yourself or tip for yourself. What would you have done differently if you could do it again? And just a tip for any future all-stars.
Have a backup generator. That's my only advice. It's the only thing that went wrong, I feel.
But who has a generator though, honestly?
Literally, maybe just like not play on the outskirts of city because like the power always goes out when there's a storm. But like I said many a times, Bill's going out that round and trajectory could have been
that would have
different.
Changed everything.
I
if
also
you're down to get Bill out.
Frick. It was gonna happen, but it's all good. It's all good. Different universe or timeline, I should say. I also regret not telling, because you and Marcelo were in the same room as me when I was like having like when my breakdown started, and I wish I would have just yelled like "work with Shannon" or something like that, and Jacob G. Like, I wish I would have like somehow formed that. But
so, tip to future all-star: if you have to self-evacuate or something, spread on that plan, like whatever it is.
Yes. No, I just went rogue. I was like, I don't even know what's happening, but it was so nice playing with you, and like I'm genuine in the fact that like I was really down to go like really, really far with you guys, with everyone I was aligned with. So in a perfect world, but I hope to play again. I hope we can stay in contact. So
yes, definitely. Yes. Thank you so much for
Thanks for having me. It was a pleasure.
Bye, girl.
Hi.
We got Dan Alt. Is it Dan Alt or Dan ALT?
Alt. Yeah. Like the button on your keyboard. Like the button on your keyboard.
Yes.
One tip though. I think I play a kind of different game than most people. It's kind of super aggressive. Just like don't be afraid to say names and lean into things, because this game a lot of people play really defensively. They don't want to get votes, and if you try and throw your vote to make sure you're not in harm's way, you're not ultimately leading votes. So just do that. I mean, it's a fun way to play. If you find that fun, might not be like the winning strategy, but it'll get your name where you want it to be, and you can do some fun stuff with it. So
it is fun. You're on your toes the entire time, right? You're never coasting.
But it was so good to play with you, Sosa. I really appreciate it, and thank you for bringing me on.
It was such a pleasure. Thank you for coming. I really appreciate it. And thank you for like staying loyal to the Room 1 Alliance.
Yeah.
I know it's a basic cliche move, but like I was down for it.
Yeah, I mean, once you got up on the block on that tether round, I was like, first thing we're going to say is we're not voting as Sosa in the beat. And then,
thank you, Dan.
Take care, Sosa.
Much love. Angelica, sorry.
No, you're good. Everybody does that. You kept doing that in my inbox. I'm like, come on. Okay. One thing I will say is leave your ego at the door, because we had a bunch of people that have been playing for 1 to 2 months thinking they could they could rock with people who've been playing this shit for 3 years. And we got our ass handed to her. So have some respect for the OGs, but watch the fuck out. I'm not saying that all the All-Stars should go in the next game and just take out OGs. That sucks. Don't do that. But don't fucking underestimate them. Because we've been playing, I mean, a lot of us net guys have been playing for 2 to 3 months. Like watch yourself with how smart you think you are. Because I had plans. They weren't very good. And also, if you can take the day off work, take the day off work. Because I had to work that whole day.
Like you mean the following day or the day of?
The day of, because I was so stressed out that day of when I couldn't pregame because I was working. And I made some mistakes because I was sending messages really quickly. I shouldn't have said what I said to Bill about Dan. I shouldn't have, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And also make sure Podquester isn't drafted.
And what'd you say about Podquester?
Make sure you don't get drafted first on Podquester, because that gave me an even bigger target.
Fair enough.
It's not like me, though. Like it's like I'm almost starstruck to have played with something like you guys. Like this is incredible.
This cast is phenomenal. Like I love it.
I came out of my first game having sat in final 2 and no one knew my name. No one. Like Jacob got picked for Winners at War All Stars in a draft, and they said, "Who do you sit next to? Who's Angelica?" And I was like, "Oh, bitch, I want people to know my name." Well, that backfired, because then I played a game so loud and aggressive that it gave me a huge fucking target for this game. So be careful what you wish for.
Fair enough. Thank you so.
This isn't the end. We all will do many more things together.
Yeah.
Yay.
Thank you for coming, Angelica. I really
thank you for doing this. Absolutely.
See ya.
Bye.
Hello.
We got Rogue Mel.
All right, what should I start with?
So Mel, if there was something you would change about your gameplay, if you could do it again, what would you do? And what is a tip for a future All-Star?
What I would do differently is more actively play for the end game. Not so much in like picking who's going to be on the jury or anything, or trying to manage jury, because you can do a lot of that at the end. But honestly, like at final 8 and 7, I was playing each round as it came. It was like 4 or 5 hours into the game. I'm like, I'm just trying to survive. Like I'm just trying to make moves. But I should have in while we're waiting for votes to be read, I should have been like, okay, what am I going to do? It felt like there was no point thinking about it, because there's going to be a twist I can't predict, so I might as well. But I should have started thinking, okay, I know I want to cut them eventually, but I just said I'll figure it out later. And then later came, and it was a bad call because I just did it randomly.
Yeah.
And my recommendation would be play with the expectation that you'll go out first, because like honestly, I hate voting people out first. It sucks. I know they're upset. I know they've been excited all day to get to play for 10 minutes. I've been voted out first, but like I was upset for a bit and then it was fine. But if you need to go in and say, I will still have fun if I only play for 5 minutes. And then anything other than that is great, because there are a lot of people upset, validly upset. Everyone's feelings are valid that they went out early, but there's a chance, there's a 1 in 20 chance you're going to go out first. There's a 1 in 10 chance you're going to go out in the first 1 or 2 boots, and you just got to go in with that expectation, or you're going to have a really crappy time.
That is amazing sound advice.
Thank you. Thanks so much for having me. This was a lot of fun. I like talking about the mini.
Such a pleasure. So much to unravel. Thank you so much for joining so last minute.
Of course. Bye.
Okay, take care. Arch nemesis Nicole.
We should just run with that. I love it. I love it.
Yeah, I love it. Sniper. They call you Sniper Nicole on Twitter.
Oh, wow. I did not know that.
So if you had to change one thing about your game, if you got to play again, what would it be? And what is a piece of advice for any future All-Star?
I think I was too afraid to continue reaching out to people. I figured at one point I was scared of having a messy pregame, but so I stopped reaching out to people and I let myself have major blind spots, like what people like DK were really doing, because that's the bad assumption I made that got him out after, and I felt bad. So I'd say keep pushing. I don't think that I would have gotten in trouble if I had just continued to introduce myself to people, and it probably would have kept me around a little longer.
Yeah.
Let's see. And then I think another big piece of advice is just be prepared for the longer you're pre-gaming. And I'm sure the winners at War would like say this times 10, but the longer you're pre-gaming, the more emotionally you're invested in the game you're building. And it makes everything that happens in the game like so much heavier. And that's why feelings got so hurt, at least for a little bit. And that's why everything got so ugly, I think, for a little bit. So the longer you're pre-gaming, just keep checking your emotions because it's just a game.
No, that's so true.
And all these people are amazing, and we really should just not hate each other, and we don't anymore, I think.
Yeah.
And we just hopefully all the rest of the cast don't even have to deal with any of the messiness we had, because it's way more fun if everyone's just playing the game.
I feel like a mini is always messy. There's always some mess to it, but that's what makes reality TV.
Exactly. And we'll bring plenty of mess without emotional baggage. So
yes.
Just don't bring emotional baggage.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Nicole, for joining us.
Love you so much.
Love
Great to meet you.
It's such a pleasure. Bye, girl.
Bye.
Then we got my bae, Josh, CEO.
What's up, baby?
He didn't play in this mini, but he is an all-star and a two-time winner or one time?
No, I want to be a two-time winner.
Okay, he's a one-time winner. So you watched the mini as well. So I would say if you have a piece of advice for myself.
I do.
Okay, great. Let's get into it.
Because, girl, I was watching that game, coming in rooting for 3 people. And my 3 people didn't do so well. But well, 4 people, actually. 4 people. And you're my last one. You're my last hope. So I had a lot of things banking on you. And I do want to say, when you did at Final 5, I think you kind of like got so shook that you forgot to think in the moment of how you could have saved yourself in that Final 5 to get to Final 4. You pitched to if you just pitched to your 2 allies you already saw Mel was going to turn on her alliance for you. So that was somebody you could have been on the get-go. And you had to create a relationship with Dylan and Cammy. All you got to do is pitch to them saying, like, yo, you guys, Cammy, Dylan, vote me out at Final 4. Take out Bill because he's your biggest threat. Promise you, I will vote for Bill if he makes it to the end.
But I said that. But Bill was safe, remember?
No, he was not safe. It was Dylan that was safe. Dylan and Mel. It was Dylan and Mel.
Was safe.
Is this Final 6 you're talking about or Final 7?
Final 5.
Oh, Mel and Dylan were safe Final 5.
Yep.
Okay, so repeat that.
Yeah, if you said, hey, you guys, I'm going to vote out Bill. This is your only chance. He's making it to the end. If he does, I'll win. But she didn't say this. Take me out at Final 4. I drag Mel, Dylan, and Cammy. Final 2.
Come
Period.
on.
Period.
Why
Just like that. Why would you do that? Because you want to convince them. And then switch it up. You always want to convince somebody something.
That's so smart.
They will always believe the first thing you say.
Mel said she wouldn't have voted out Bill if I had said that.
Yeah, she didn't need to. She just needed 2 votes and herself, which was Dylan and Cammy. You pitched to 2. You just got to pitch to the audience. As long as you make an enemy in Final 4, people are always going to want you to go. They want to take you in that enemy so you guys can make it a Final 2. That's what Joe did in his Joe the Show. The people everybody's talking about, he did it in his Final 4. Always what
Shout
I
out
wanted
to Joe
do.
the Show.
Yeah, it's always what I wanted to do. I feel like making yourself an enemy in the Final 4 sets you up to Final 2.
Well, I was ready to I wanted to be an enemy of Bill because he had like really broken my trust. I just remember him being safe. I just felt so blind. All I could say was, Cammy, really?
Yeah, no, you were so blindsided, which was good, actually. If you show those raw emotions and be like, girl, I will vote. If you do this, you got my vote. Just try it. Just help me. Save me. I really am your ally. It
was, Mel said they might have. It was hard because everyone was talking over me. Yeah, at that point, all I just kept hearing was, you're outnumbered, Sosa. Like, what are you going to do? There's 4 of us. You don't have the number. So I'm like, it doesn't matter where I go. Bill, Dylan, Cammy, and Mel were all They were all against me at that point. I remember I was just like, Audrey, end the round. Like, it's done.
That is true. Just my general advice, though. My general advice is just like always. Pre-game is not the end of the real game. I'll tell you guys this. Once, if you could switch games, you could switch the game up entirely, no matter how long you've been pre-gaming. Trust me, Winners of War did not go anything as planned, but it went in a way that it still was accordingly to my plan, at least. But it didn't go as planned. So pre-game is never the end of the game. And also set yourself up as a player that's going to be sitting in the final two.
That's something I did not do.
From the beginning of the game. Yeah, always imagine yourself at the final two. That's going to help you get a lot of confidence to play these rounds as easy as possible because you're the winner in your own eyes. So you're going to be like, girl, you was not coming for me. Nah, boo-boo. You know, it gives you that energy. Trust me, it gives you that confidence. But also expect to be the first boot, if that makes sense. Prepare yourself to be the winner.
Mel said that, or Nicole. Mel said that. Yeah.
Mel did say that, and that was such good advice, girl. Like, because my last game I played, I was pre-jury. It broke my heart. Girl, it broke my heart. But what I did learn from that is I had so much fun playing the game because I expected to, you know, I'm a winner, bro. I'm not going to do well in these games. And with that energy, that fun and great energy I had, it made me enjoy the experience a lot more, made me love the cast a lot more, and it made my sister get the final two, I think. That's really good. So, anyways, other than that, you did a really good job, and I think you should get into the game again, and you might win. In fact, you will win. That's the confidence you need. Yes. We need melanin. Oh, sorry.
We need melanin. And based on that, you know, even though I was like so distraught with Cammy, I was really conflicted about who I was going to give my final vote to, Bill or Cammy. And Bill played an awesome game. Like, bitterness aside, whatever, it was very aggressive. He was dominant. Like, he knew what he was doing. He had the right alliances. But I stayed loyal to Cammy, even though I did what I wanted to see every Big Brother player do when they saw someone that, like, I felt like they should line with. I didn't want to pull, like, an Anthony and a Kaylin and, like, leave her for dead. I wanted to just be loyal and get some melon up on that board, so she didn't. But one thing I will say for myself moving forward is I'm gonna leave the whole this is a little unfiltered. I'm gonna leave the black card alone. Like, I'm not gonna think, oh my god, black girl magic. Like, no, maybe I'll do it to form it at first, but I'm gonna go rogue for sure. And that's me saying that now.
Yeah, always go rogue when you know you got it in the bag. I promise you.
Yeah.
I had in my winning game, I let go of my black guy. I did it. My black brother. We were gonna make it to the end, but I let go of him only because, you know, this is where I have it. He's gonna be the way of me winning. So you know what? It's my chance to get it. That's when you gotta let go of them. Don't let go of them. You know, it's still like a loss.
So do you think that's what Camille was doing to me at that point, where she felt like, okay, yeah.
I think that's where we shouldn't have. I feel like that's all you had to say is, Bill will win this, girl. You want to win. Bill will win this. I can ensure that you beat Dylan. You know, if you ensured that to her, she would have been like, okay, well, I do want to be the winner. She'll start thinking selfishly again. People are selfish at the end of the day. Everybody want to win. No. This, honestly, you guys, this y'all being black like this is making me look really good. You know, sorry. It's awkward now. Somebody get me off of here. I got kitties. She blacked out, didn't she?
Where did Sosa go?
I don't really know.
Oh.
I love your accent, by the way.
Oh my god, thanks. Hello.
Yes. Are you?
Nice
Nice to meet you. What's your name?
I'm Abby. Right? Oh my god, Sosa said her computer died. That's so funny.
Oh my god, we're running the show.
Yeah, let's go. Woo! Have you got anything else you want to say? I don't know. She was more the interview. I was just here to hype.
Do I got anything more to say? I mean,
yeah, come on.
Child, I
can't do the whole switch people thing, so I don't fucking know.
Yes. Well, are you gonna play this? Have you played this game yet?
No, I'm just a super fan, not a super fan. I'm a fan of the blacks and the girls and the gays.
Girl, I wear wigs, so I kind of I'm in all three categories. Let me stop. That's so rude.
Come on, exactly.
No, my bad. Wait, are you back?
Sorry about that, guys. These last few minutes have been so nice. Hey, Bill. I can't wait to go back and forth and watch it all. Thanks for hosting, Sosa. Oh, Bill. Shout out to Bill. Like I said, phenomenal game.
Because Bill liked a tweet that I said when he was up. He was up for, I think, he was a flop one round, and I was like, oh, I'll be fine if Bill goes, and he liked it. I was busting up because he won the whole game. Wow,
right? Honestly, there was so many times I wanted to tweet. I can't wait until Bill get out of here. I can't stand him.
He's one of those players. I bet you if I was watching, I'd be like, oh my god, get Bill out. Get Bill. He was one of those players you wanted to get out, and no one was budging. And Bill would come into your room and be like, all right, so votes on Dan. Just Bill. I'm like, who? Just Bill thinking
oh my god, do you know what he did?
I'm saying, I'm like, this man, he's running. You think he's running on it?
What was the round? Where only two people, who had the vote? Navi and
Khalid. Navi and Khalid.
Yeah. Bill went around saying he had a vote.
Yeah, I was like,
it came back. Oh, that was a mess. It was. He
was like, I got to vote. Who are we voting? There's 3 votes. How did they tie? And everybody was like,
I cannot believe he did that.
It wasn't supposed to tie, Bill. He said, oh yeah, I don't got to vote. I was like,
yeah, he was a worthy winner. Bill was definitely a worthy winner.
I mean, and he did that and he still won. I was so surprised people were like, oh my god, like I believe Bill so easily. Nope.
Yeah,
Bill is so strange, bro. I don't understand.
He's just so convincing. And then even when he broke it to me that he had voted for me and Naveet to leave, even though I thought we were working together, he's like, yeah, but it was like 3 rounds ago. Get over it. And just like moves on. And I'm like, no, I'm not moving on. Oh man. That was hilarious.
I don't get it. I don't understand how that boy made it to the end. But when a player like that makes it to the end, you gotta vote for them. It's just
you have to.
It sucks that both players that you gotta vote for made it to the end. That's the only reason why they didn't win.
Yeah.
And I think Cammy really could have won if she had set herself up in the beginning rounds of the jury questioning and not the ending rounds. Because people vote right when they right when they do their jury question. They say, okay, Bill. Okay, Bill.
I think it's because of her gameplay was more so like coasting. Like she was good socially. She kind of just there wasn't any like major game moves.
Yeah, but in a game like Sequester, it's so hard to really like being a social player is a game move. Like
I agree.
You cannot be too into a character so much that you let them make it to the end. You know?
Yeah. No, I agree with that.
That's why I think if Cammy just had said that in the beginning, she could have really set herself up to be like, this is who I am, period.
And that's when Dylan came and like set that question up for her kind of thing, and she took it and ran with it.
The thing is, Dylan was the third person to answer in that jury. A lot of players like Dash and me, personally, I saw this with me and Dash. Our first questioner hyped us up. First questioner hyped us up. And it set everybody to just be like, okay, we gotta vote for this person. Like Daniel hyped up Dash a lot. He was like, Dash did this and that, and everybody was like, yo, you know what, he's right. So if Dylan had Cammy in the first questioning, I promise you this would have been a different story. Love you, Bill.
You're right. That's true. Okay, well, I guess we're at the 2-hour mark. This was awesome. It was my first time doing anything like this, so this was fun. I love the recap.
Josh the last person.
What?
Josh the last person.
Yeah, Josh the last person.
Okay. Oh.
Black people magic.
Period.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah. Period. Ooh, guys, can I tell y'all one thing? I know this is so off topic. I'm sorry. All right, so my friend was telling me there's a combination of yes and yas now, and it's like yes. Yes.
Yes. Where did that originate from?
I don't really know. She's just like, yes.
All right, well, yes.
I'll just say yes.
Yeah. Sorry.
Okay, so no worries. Don't apologize. Plug yourself, guys.
Oh, no, I'm all right.
Yeah. You have to do it. All the podcasters say that.
My Twitter is too confusing.
Where can they find you on Twitter? That's just for me and Abby on Twitter.
Yes. Well, my name is Josh CEO. Just add the JW and you got me.
Amazing. Abby's is Black Mist, which is spelled MXST. And of course, mine is and of course, mine is dolledbysosa. So feel free to follow us on all social platforms. And thank you so much for joining us in this round table talk.
Thank you,
Yes.
Sosa. This was
Thank you,
fun.
Sosa. This was so fun.
Yeah, it was so fun. The cast was so awesome. There's no shade or bitterness. Like everything is just for bands and for fun.
Exactly. It's a game. It's meant to be fun, you know. So.
Yeah, and like they said though, like the emotions are high. Like after the game, I was a little pissed. I was sitting there so angry about like the whole about the after show that was going on, and I'm like, why do I care so much? I think I was just like still on an adrenaline rush from the game.
It's so crazy. This game, like a game that has no stakes to it, you found out about 3 days ago. Literally, nobody got you feeling really pressed right now. And girl, I was crying up a storm my last game, and I'm wondering, I'm like, what's that feeling? You know what? I'm just go with it.
Honestly.
Okay.
Okay, well, that's a wrap, y'all. Tune back in here next week, or maybe in a few days, because me, Josh, and Abby should be discussing Big Brother Australia. So,
Josh, do you watch it? Period.
Yes, he does.
Yes.
So we three will be doing something. But yeah, so keep an eye out for that. I gotta catch up still though, so no spoilers right now.
Okay. You've had time, Sosa.
I know. Whatever. Anyways, as always, stay hustling.
Period.
You know, it kind of feels. Oh wait, you're still